sleep.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Monday night here at Proficiency Bonus. My name is Matthew, your benevolent, well, usually, some of my players may not agree this evening, Dungeon Master. But before we jump too far into things, a couple of quick shoutouts. Thanks to Streamlabs and Twitch. Their software and platform let us do what we enjoy doing. And thanks to our friends over at Little Dragon and CCG Cardboard Castle Games. If you put in the chat ! Little Dragon, give you a link to their website where you can use the discount code PROBONUS, get 10% off your order. If you put an ! CCG, give you a link to their website. They are my buddy Michael's friendly local game store down in Evans, Georgia. And we also have ! Discord. You can pop into our Discord server, about all of us, see what's going on with our stream as well as some of the others. And with that being said, we will jump into last time, as our party was making their way down towards Candlekeep, sort of down through Trio, following the Tradeway, eventually going through Baldur's Gate, stopping by Murdoch's old neck of the woods, then heading down to Candlekeep. But they ran into a somewhat strange occurrence, a flaming goblin. And I mean that in the literal on fire sense of the phrase, who just ran through the night on fire, seemingly unbothered by it. The group followed the goblin's path in towards the woods of the Reaching Woods, and eventually sort of went around the north of it and found themselves in Hardbuckler, a small, well, very small sort of town that really is quite small, as it is a gnome settlement. Murdoch went in to attempt to procure some magical scrolls to help Artemis out. Furia went on her way to attempt to locate the trail for said burning goblin. Found the trail, it was still just running off, heading that exact same, almost a straight line, heading pretty much towards the desert from where Furia was sort of tracking the direction. And eventually, actually thanks to Lydia, they found out about a sort of missing gnome board that this one individual, they come to discover, has set up his children out in various parts of Faerun. As they hear about gnomes in trouble or missing, they call home, let Dad know, and Dad apparently puts up the posts and lets his kids know as he hears about others. So there is this strange sort of underground network of gnomes trying to help each other. Well, Lydia went over to check it out and noticed that one of the gnomes looked a little bit like Artemis. Brought it over, and they discovered that it was a report from, well, actually, I don't know if Artemis told anybody, but the notice was from a gnome by the name of Bartholomew, who said his wife had been kidnapped. Lydia proceeded to pretty much drag Art, and I believe the rest of the party was sort of following along behind towards the individual who had sent her over that direction. A gnome with sort of bright red hair, and as this individual turned around, they recognized Artemis. And that is where we're going to pick up tonight's session, is right there, Artemis. As standing in front of you is a gnome that you have not seen for probably a good few years. Valman, your mother's brother, standing before you with, you can see tears are starting to well up into this older gnome's eyes a little bit. As looks over, and again, that the voice almost breaking a little bit. Artemis, is that really you?
Yep. It's me.
Comes barreling towards you and just grabs you in a hug. What? What? When I heard that, when I heard from Fable, do you remember Fable, my youngest daughter? She was speaking with your father, and he was telling her about the situation with your mother, and he said he hadn't seen you in months.
Well...
We thought something might have happened to you, but he said you would want to sort of wander off and avoid him.
I mean, first, big blunt, yes. I kind of just wander around. I don't usually leave the island, though, so I suppose an explanation is sort of needed.
I mean, did it really take you 2 months to get here?
I mean, there was some trips along the way. Other things, other...
But never mind. What news do you have? Has your father heard anything about your mother?
I kind of came to you to ask about that, because Dad didn't tell me that she was missing. Well, in a manner of speaking.
You can see he gets a little... sort of a confused look on his face. What's the last you remember? What's the last time you remember your mother being around regularly?
Oh, few years ago.
Okay, so it sort of rubs his temple a little bit. So, and you know assuming you're still practicing, your gifts came from her side of the family, right?
Yep. Yeah, they sure did. Dad just told me that she was lost at sea. That's all I know.
Sort of reaches up, scratches a little bit. Okay, so... You watch as he's got this little sort of overcoat on as he opens it up. And Murdoch, you've definitely seen these before. I actually think most of you have seen at least one. One of you is carrying one. As he opens his jacket, you can see there is actually 2 columns of 3 pockets. Each one has as you're looking quickly, it seems to have something scrawled on it. As he reaches in and pulls out a sending stone out of one of them. And you, Master Comet and Fable, yes, tell Bart, Artemis is on the mainland. And he watches you, just sort of waits a second. It's a little nod and then puts it back. She'll let your father know that you're here.
I suppose that's good, as long as he doesn't come and find me and kick my ass.
He sort of laughs a little. But let us... these your friends?
Yeah, yes. They, perk up a little bit. And, we're doing that adventuring thing that I always wanted to do.
Art has been very helpful. Very, very much would be missing without them.
Well, you can definitely see that starts to give a bit of a smile to the group of you. Come, please, let us go to my house. We'll sit down. He looks down at Artemis, and you watch as this sort of bright, sort of smiley eye for a second, sort of almost disappears almost immediately. We should probably talk some.
Yeah.
And then as he starts leading the way over, Lydia and Snow Moon look at the group and say, "Go ahead, we'll watch the we'll take care of the carriage and stuff. We'll pull around. So
I mean, depending on the size
I
of the
look up-
house and things.
Yeah.
You
You might
two
have trouble
are-
fitting.
I mean, Lydia, you're so tall, and Snow Moon, you're just so immensely muscular. So
Another time, Murdoch.
turns and walks away. And
one day,
he won't be here when this happens.
one day,
I feel objectified.
I'm just going to get a fishing rod, and I'm just gonna...
Just a shudder as he's coming home.
Okay.
Eventually, he leads you into, again, it's a little bit of a cramp for Murdoch and for you to sort of like duck down into the door. It's a little shorter than what you're used to, but come in. It's a very sort of warm, cozy little space. You can tell it's definitely seems that he is, basically it's not a large home, so you can tell the kids are all gone at this point. But eventually, it brings you all in into the kitchen. So invites you all to have a seat. Rosario starts puts the pot on, starts getting some water for tea. Whatnot. Turns back to the. I apologize. I should introduce myself to the rest of you. I am Valman. I am Artemis's. Well, I'm the uncle. Artemis's mother is my sister, and me and my children have been attempting to aid your father in finding him, help him find her. But there are things that we should discuss. They have a rather...
Yeah.
Your father is getting requests to build things. And these people are claiming to have your mother held. So long as he continues to produce, they claim she's being well taken care of.
When did he find that out? Right away? Did he know right from the beginning that she was not just lost at sea?
I first started to have my own concerns almost 8-9 months ago. Your cousin Fable agreed on her travels to stop in and see him on her way. She actually married a very lovely young man, and the two of them actually live in Rogersheim, out in Norland, on the far side of the Sibunche. Not too hideously far from, well, I suppose maybe a little far from where you were, but she stopped by about a month and a half ago on their travels and spoke with your father. And he told her that he had been having to do this somewhat recently. So as best as he told us, he's known for about a month and a half. It sounds as though about shortly after you had left. Or perhaps it was right before you left. I never did fully trust him, but... Don't give me that look. My sister, I'm not supposed to trust him.
Okay. Sorry.
But unfortunately, the best he can tell us is the requests come in via boat. Someone comes to his shop and makes the request. He brings it out, leaves it at the dock, and it's gone within 2 days. He hasn't done much from what I can tell to try to find her. He's just been doing what they ask.
You said he's building ships for them?
No, he's, well, you know him and his tinkering and the toys and contraptions he likes to play with.
Yeah.
Well, apparently this group found something. And they brought it to him and wanted him to replicate it. And he's been, as far as the fable said, he seems to be doing okay. They claim that your mother is still fine. But your father has not, well, at least as far as he's told me, has not asked for any proof or anything to show that she is in fact alive. This could be someone from the same island who knows that she was lost and is just using this. Or perhaps there is something to it.
I really hope that's not the case. Do we... Oh.
When he comes back over, he brings over a pot of tea and starts offering everyone a cup.
I take a cup.
Yeah, me as well.
I'm sorry, my wife's not home at the moment, or I'd offer food, but...
Oh, I have that covered. She starts taking out something.
She's good at the food making. Do we know anything more? Any leads? Any clues?
The first notice that Fable described an image that she saw in one of the things your father had received. Bear with me a moment and let me pull it out here. And because I did not remember to grab my book. Give me a second, folks. Yeah. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Sorry, folks. This is DM forgetting to have something prepped. Here's my page cheater. There we go. Okay. And he pulls out a small piece of parchment and starts basically scribbling something down in front of you. And as he is drawn this out, the image you get is, it looks to be like a small scroll. And on the front of the scroll is, and again, I'm going to, as players, do all of you know what a Bodak looks like? A Bodak's face?
No.
Okay, give me a second, let me
No.
see if I got one for those of you who are in Roll20. I think I have one.
Is it a real world thing or a D&D?
No, this is a D&D thing.
Okay. I was like, I've never heard of that. Whatever. it
So,
is.
basically what it is, think of it, Scream. The Scream mask.
Oh, okay.
So sort of, what he draws out is basically, sort of looks like a skull with an elongated jaw. Two darkened circles in it, and then he puts 3 lines through the mouth.
Oh. Well, that is a ghastly thing.
And maybe a little familiar.
But not.
And as he
too-
draws it and sort of turns it and shows it to the group of you, you all seem to remember something. A dream.
Oh!
And the strange white
is
mask
familiar.
that you had seen.
Okay. Sorry. Yes. Ooh.
Now, the one he drew, it looks like somebody drew out the jaw a little further than the actual mask you saw. But it definitely has those same sort of sunken look to the eyes and the same vertical lines over where the mouth would be.
And he drew this in response to Art asking, do we have any more information?
Do we have any more information? He said, yeah, the information that that Art's father showed to his daughter included this on it. And as he's looking at the group here, as he turns around, what I've put out feelers, I've been asking around. I've checked with Thompson, with Rinjig, with Nelvek, Elba, Nulma. I mean, I didn't bother asking Fable, as Fable would have said if she knew something, but... I mean, my children are spread throughout. And no one has been able to find much on this as of yet.
I looked
Art
down at
just-
Artemis.
Sorry, what did you say?
I looked down at you.
Are we gonna... I mean, as might as... that face looks familiar. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I've certainly seen that, sort of design before. But that just kind of makes things confusing.
Your uncle sort of walks over and sort of puts a hand on your shoulder, standing beside you a little bit. Well, if you've seen it, that's more than what me and the others have been able to find.
Art, looks around at everybody else in the room, Murdoch and Sarah and Furia. All of us saw that, right?
In
The
the dream.
dream.
Less stretched out, but definitely
Okay,
looks to be the same.
just making sure.
Artemis, go ahead and make a either intelligence or history if you want.
Does your mother have magic?
Yes, it's from her side.
Did she send us that vision?
Mama!
Well, maybe to be help. Look for this.
23?
Oh, Jesus. All right, as you're sitting here now and you're around family, and you've got your uncles come over and sort of now his arm around in, looking at this drawing again, your mind all of a sudden seems to pull back. And you're thinking years and years ago. A very young Artemis. At home, sitting with your father. Your mother comes home. It's probably about an hour after sundown. And as the two of them sort of put you out to bed, you can hear a very sort of terse talk. It's not shouting, not an argument, but you can tell that there's definitely some sort of a disagreement as you're listening to this. Slowly meandering your way out of your room very quietly. Sort of sneaking around, trying to find out what's going on. And you can see your parents sitting at the table. And what looks to be a cracked white mask between them. And the last thing you remember is your mother's voice yelling, "Valman warned us."
Okay. Oh. That's fun.
And again, he's still sitting there right behind you, sort of off to one side with his arm sort of around your shoulder, just sort of like squeezing your shoulder, trying to be supportive.
They'll kind of like look up and back.
You warned them about something like this? Right?
He looks down at you with a very sort of surprised look. And it's gone in a second. It's that momentary shock, like, what? What? And then it's gone again. And he looks down and you turns around and walks away from you. Goes over to the cabinet. Can hear something being moved around. Comes back over, sits down at the table. Opens a bottle. And immediately all of you can get a very heavy scent, very strong alcohol. Sits down, takes a pretty hefty pull off of it. Yep. Lillian was warned. Your father's not like us. Now, our family has a rather low tolerance for lowborns. Those who are not from gifted families. And as he's saying that, he reaches out and you watch as he touches the bottle in front of him, and the bottle starts to glow with a little bit of light. Those of you who are casters would recognize the light cantrip easily enough. Mother and father were not pleased when she decided to chase off to that repair shop. But she will do as she was wont to, as she did when we were children. Eventually, you were born and appeared to inherit her gift. And while I had warned my sister initially that the family would come looking for her, while she had produced another arcane inclined individual for the bloodline. It seemed things should have been fine. She was warned, though, shortly after you were born, that if you were not so inclined, that there could be consequences.
What does that mean?
It takes another pull off of all that. To be honest, I don't know. I obeyed mother and father and married a studious, arcane inclined woman.
So you're telling me that this is my family? That's doing this.
He looks down a little bit and looks back up, and if what your father is claiming is true, and she has been taken and is still alive, takes another big pull off it. I would assume so. Because I see no reason for a random group of thugs to have taken her and kept her alive. If what your father said initially was true and she was in fact lost, and somebody is using that, claiming to have her, I have not been able to find anything out. And he sort of looks at the group of you, but at the same point, your grandparents, my mother and father, they are a rather large distance from here. It's not as though it would be simple for them. I mean, they are located out past the, starts sort of mumbling a little bit, out past the, I believe it's called the Evermoors, up in Silvery Moon. They have a lovely estate up there, but they have a rather severe, shall we say, aversion to teleportation magic.
I'm sure we can find our way there somehow.
It looks around if there's a rather, I don't want to call it a small town, but there's a town that is, if you were to head from, I don't know, it's up north, one of those big cities. It takes another drink. Tumsin, my eldest son, lives in Yata. He may be able to assist you on your travels should you get that far.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You notice he is actively trying to avoid looking at you right now, or he's just staring down at the bottle.
Art's chest is starting to just like heave more and more, and they're just gonna get up.
I'm done with this place.
And they're gonna leave.
Just
Put my
as-
tea down. Fortunately, it's going to get cold. You said that you were asking people all around. You said you had no idea. And now you're saying that the culprit is most likely your own parents? Why did you not say that in the first place?
Looks over at you, and with your passive insight, you can probably see in this person's face just the look of defeat. Looks over and just if Artemis had not known that I had warned them, I wouldn't have said anything.
So you would have let this continue.
It is not so simple to tell someone that their own family could quite possibly be the cause of one of their most traumatic experiences.
Seems to me you had all the information you needed in order to perhaps tell their father what's happening, at least putting some sort of ease. Instead, you let him fear the worst when it came to his wife, and I do hope you're proud of yourself for hurting your
We don't
family
know
in more ways.
for sure whether it's the family. That's the whole question.
And he looks
I
at
think
the
there is.
three of you still sitting here as Art has walked away. Has Artemis told you at all about their father? About the sort of
No.
man?
No, but
It is not my place to.
that is what I was going to say.
Suffice to say, it was not in anyone's best interest that he be the one to find out.
Well,
Art may never forgive me, but better them than him.
Artemis may never forgive you regardless. But we are going to go make sure that they are all right. Oopsies. We are going to make sure that they are all right and that she is found. And I will leave you with a question, sir. Because I would like you to try and figure out what part of your esteemed bloodline is actually the good part. And since you let us into your home and gave us tea, I will give you a hint. The answer is not at the bottom of that bottle. And I'm going to go out after Artemis. Good day.
looks down at the bottle and then looks over at the other two of you.
Is the bottle on like a sturdy table or a wobbly table?
It's a pretty good four-legged kitchen table. He raised 6 kids in this house. It's the sort of table that's going to survive 6 kids.
Okay, then I can't do what I want to do. So I'm also going to leave.
As Sarah walks out, I'm going to place my cup and saucer gently on the table and thank you for your time. We will do our best to help Artemis, and I will also leave.
Gives a little nod, and we will jump outside to Artemis. As you head right out the front door, you can see probably a good maybe 20, 30 feet away, heading back, facing out back towards the tradeway. You can see the carriage. You can see Lydia just sort of standing around looking out at the main road. You don't see Snow Moon at the moment. What would you be doing? You've probably got a couple of minutes before anyone else makes their way outside.
I think they would just be walking just back to the carriage. Just absolutely preoccupied by what just went down. Very tempted to turn around and just throw lots of fire at a bunch of things. But that wouldn't help anything.
Okay, so eventually you make your way back over to the carriage. As you start to open the door, you do see Snow Moon is sitting in it looking and not really paying attention, but a couple of moments later, the rest of your party starts meandering out of the house. As Murdoch, as you come out first, and then Sarah, and then Furia almost right afterwards. The three of you do see Artemis looks to be over by the carriage.
I'll come over to the carriage. Regroup.
Okay.
Not to change the subject, but were you able to get what you needed to in that shop?
Yes. Some scrolls to help the party, specifically a comprehend languages scroll, which is for you, Artemis. But it's not the priority anymore.
I agree, but if we don't need to go back in there, I see no reason to stick around. I did my investigation. The tracks continue straight as an arrow and look like they're heading toward the desert if they stay straight, so. But I think we have more important things to go to right now.
I agree. So, Artemis, where do we go?
I mean, I don't want to interrupt everything else that is going on right now.
this is what's going on right now.
I suppose so. Um, I guess if we can go to Evermore's and figure out if he was lying to my face or not. That would be good for starters.
Alright. I've said it before, Baldur's Gate is not going anywhere. I'll,
Well,
open
if
the
it
door.
does, we'll visit there anyway later.
We'll visit there. We'll find out where it goes. But then to the Evermore's. I'll open the door for the carriage and I'll offer him to help you step inside, Artemis.
They'll take a moment.
Now, is
just,
there a-
step up.
Is this the sort of place I can just direct our carriage to go to, or?
Yeah, it's a ways off. You guys do have in your possession a map, so you would know that the location that this individual gave you is well north of where you are.
Yeah.
This is on the other side of the High Forest.
This is...
It's a good chunk of distance. It's probably over 500 miles from where you are.
We'd basically be going all the way back to Daggerford, maybe through Waterdeep, and then still north past that. As far north as I've ever been.
Murdoch, you would know. Artemis, you would know as well. You would know that it's possible, but given you're not quite as well traveled as Murdoch is, you may not know as many locations. But Murdoch, you would know that the city of Silvery Moon does in fact have a teleportation
circle
in the tower.
Murdoch does exactly what I just did.
What?
Where are we going? So I can tell the carriage.
Artemis.
Yeah?
It's probably a little bit above your skills of what you're capable now, but have you heard about teleportation circles?
Yeah, we've encountered sort of kind of one or two. But yes.
If we can at least make it to Waterdeep, we may be able to quicken the rest of our pace and teleport directly to Silvery Moon, where I believe there was talk that your grandparents have an estate? Or nearby?
Yes.
It would cut our travel time down immensely. It would probably cost some coin, but
That's
we
fine.
would be there immediately.
That's fine.
Then I would suggest we make the tradeway to Waterdeep.
And talk to, I guess the plan would be talk to your grandparents, see what they know, or confront them, or see if they have information.
Yes. Yes. Civil. The civil way first.
Well, we have your back if it comes to anything else.
And I have lots of fire.
You do.
Indeed you do. I'm gonna get on top of the carriage and basically do a well, back the way we came. I'm gonna tell the carriage to head towards Daggerford.
Oh, okay. Daggerford or Waterdeep?
Well, I thought water. One was after the other on the tradeway.
Yep. So Daggerford's
Is it
first.
not?
Waterdeep's on the other side. Waterdeep's further north.
Well, seeing as how it's not going to get us there in a day, I'm just going to, do the first point that I know of. So.
Okay. Second here.
Unless you all
Math.
happen to have a teleportation circle in your magic house. Not yet.
Maybe. Now that Art has that scroll available, maybe we could read some of the stuff. Maybe we could figure out what's in that room. I mean,
If you would like to try and distract yourself on the way there, Artemis, this scroll here, and I will give you the scroll of comprehend languages. This spell would allow you to read all of the tones that your group has been unable to decipher as of yet.
That's a pretty good distraction. That'll work for now. And they'll grab the scroll.
I can't, for the life of me, I'm drawing a blank. I think it's a first level spell. So basically, it would take you an hour to copy it into your spell book. And it's 50 gold, but gold's not a concern for you guys at this point.
And then you can cast it as
yeah,
a
it is
ritual.
first level, yeah.
Yeah, so takes you an hour, so you'll have this done before you guys even get back. You guys are just about a day south of your house anyway.
I feel like Art is not like pen in hand writing furiously like they usually are. They're probably doing a lot of just like staring into nothingness, coming back, writing a little bit more down, copying and things and checking and blah blah blah, and then kind of wandering off and coming back. But yes, maybe a little bit more than an hour, but
Don't wander too much. We're in a carriage.
we got time.
well, wandering as in dissociating, but
I'm going to planes within my mind.
At least inside my mind, at least.
Murdoch just kind of on like the because the carriage has like the carriage doors have like windows, right? They have like little curtains.
Mm-hmm.
So Murdoch is just kind of tapping on the windowsill a little beat, and she'll hum a song to try and keep the mood relaxed. She does not sing. I'm not a singy bard, but when the occasion strikes me.
Basically, you make it through the first day's worth of travel. And again, you're probably like good maybe 40, 50 mile, give or take from your house. The first night's watch goes through without a problem. Wake up the next morning, continue along the tradeway, and about midday, you guys are going to be passing right by your house. Is the plan to stop, or are you just pushing on through?
Art, I really want to know what that doorway says. Would you mind, breaking out that new spell? We can continue on after if we don't want to stay the night, but...
no, I'm good with the more distraction things. Yes, we could.
Okay. Easy enough. As the group goes in, Lydia says her password, releases her enchantment on the door again as she locked it up before you left. Is everyone going in, or is Art running up on their own? What's your plans?
I will go up after Art.
Okay. Sarah?
Yeah, I'm curious about what the door says.
Okay. So, as the entire group, all 6 of you will go up, as Lydia and Snowman will come up as everyone else is going.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of falling behind, Art leading the way. In the doorway, to the right, up the stairs, down the long hallway. You all find yourself standing in front of that just that very odd sensation of this massive stone door in this otherwise wooden house.
Okay, right then. They'll cast it as a ritual.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you can see, as Artemis starts taking out these different candles and getting everything situated around the door, Lydia and Snow Moon staying back, furthest back towards the hallway, just watching as takes the 10 minutes, and as you complete casting the spell, you reach out and touch the door. And as you touch it, you can almost see the letters, the writing on the door start to glow. And all of a sudden it makes sense. And it says in Celestial, speak stairwell to enter.
Oh, you Lord of the Rings.
Really? Okay. Sounds good. I hope I can just say it in my own language. Stairwell?
What language are you saying it in?
Common?
As the rest of you hear Artemis just say stairwell, you all of a sudden hear as this massive stone doorway starts to slide up.
Oh!
Oh. I think I got it. Maybe. I hope.
And very slowly, it starts to slide up.
Oh!
And as it continues up past Artemis's head, Art, you are closest right now. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Oh, come on. Okay.
We have a penthouse.
13.
Oh, okay. As the door slides up, it is very strange to you. As you look in, you can see what looks to be a stairwell. The walls, beautiful white marble. And it's if you've seen like I can't remember, Blanco Verde, I think it's called. It's white marble. It's got these little like sort of gray and brown striations through it up on the walls, and there is it's basically a square room that has stairs leading up to platforms in every corner heading up. And as you look down, it is heading down as well. As you're looking, your vision fades to nothing before you see a floor or a ceiling.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not afraid of heights. Whew. With a kind of like... They're trying not to like sob the whole time, so they're gonna turn around and... Now, Sarah, please don't pull on any strings that you may find. Then we'll be good. Okay.
Heart is breaking.
I guess they'll, oh gosh. So you said it's like a staircase, and then there's like a whole bunch of like a Escher
Well,
sort
no,
of thing.
it's picture basically
up
a
and down.
massive. Uh, think of a spiral staircase, but straight on the walls. So it's a flat one up this way, flat one up this way, flat one up this
Oh,
way.
okay.
It's basically wrapping around the walls, but in every corner there appears to be a landing.
Okay.
You see Escher minus the Escher part.
On every landing, you see a doorway.
Unmoved from verticality. Cool.
Do the doorways have labels, or they're just doors?
Don't know. There's no real light in here. The only thing Art's seeing is what's coming in from the candles that they lit.
Okay. Cool.
Infinite tower.
Now, I might not be able to actually say this because I don't remember if Snowman said anything, but when we constructed the portal, Snowman had a vision, and he said that the doorway to the stairwell was open. I think this is it.
I can't remember if he said anything, and he's not here, so we'll say he did.
Cool.
I know he said a little bit of what he saw, but I don't know if he said all of the details.
I mean, he may say it right. If he was here, he may have said it right now when Artemis said stairwell and the door opened.
Oh, this reminds me of the vision I
Vision.
So many words.
The door is now open.
When you completed the portal,
Yes, when we completed the portal, I believe there was a bright light, and Snowman seemed to have gotten knocked out, and then came back a few minutes later and said he had this vision experience where this face spoke to him and mentioned the stairwell, and that the doorway was now open.
perhaps this is, or was, meant to be some sort of reward?
I'm not even sure what it does.
Well,
Maybe we should figure this out after we, deal with Art's thing.
shouldn't it have opened when we did the portal then?
perhaps opened meant it was now able to be opened, but no one could read the sign on the door that basically said push.
Actually, it said to say.
Right.
True. That.
Can
Well, I'm all for getting back in the carriage and keeping going, but what do you think?
I kind of just want to take just like a little bit of a look, like the first little landing, if that's okay.
We should go in together, or at least no one should go in alone.
Fair point. Are you going to make us hold hands too?
No, I'm remembering how a chunk of us almost fell into a void abyss, and I would rather either avoid that or we all go together. Personally.
All right.
Right on.
Which doorway did you have your eye on?
Not that I can see much.
So from where you are, you can basically see if you look down. As you head down, there's a landing beneath you, has a doorway on it. As you look up, there's a landing on the next landing above you that has a door on it.
Let's go with the one above, because if everything starts crumbling and falling apart, then at least we can maybe jump from the top landing back into here and we won't die.
I'm right here.
There wasn't meant as a jab
For now.
towards you, but okay.
Snow Moon and Lydia will come up and, basically plan each other, one another on either side of the door. Pull out their rope and just be ready if something does happen to try to, like, throw rope out so people can grab onto it. Okay, so as you start heading up to the first door, so as Art is heading up there, who else is going with Art? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so as the four of you head in, all four of you go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh gosh.
These
At
doors are made
least
of
it's-
wood, right?
The doors?
The doors inside this. The doors inside the stairway are wooden.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
7. Great.
18.
19.
Okay.
15.
Okay, so somehow Murdoch does not notice this. But as the four of you walk through, led by Art, and start heading up towards towards this first landing, and as you're all just sort of looking around, and again, being careful as these stairs do not have a railing. And you sort of, all of you have that sort of knee-jerk as you just sort of half look down and realize that it just vanishes into darkness. As you're looking down, you sort of half glance back at the massive stone doorway you just walked through, and you see a normal wooden door, currently opened to the inside of the stairwell you're in. Looks to be about 6.5, maybe 7 feet high. You can see Snow Moon standing right on that side of it, rope in hand, but gone is the massive open stone archway that you had in your house. From within, it looks the same as the other doors. As you then turn back towards the landing you're heading towards. As you step on the landing, Art, and get close in front of the door, all of a sudden the ground at your feet very softly starts to glow. And as it starts to glow, you see 3 concentric circles appear. A white, a red, and a black.
Oh!
They're gonna look back at everybody else. A little bit worried.
Murdoch's
Yeah.
just like, it goes really high. Really low.
Art, maybe this should be a door for another day when we have, not your problem to deal with. Looking at the circles on the ground.
Yeah, maybe.
If indeed this somehow leads to wherever this is. I mean, look over there. I mean, that doorway that we just went through, it's not home anymore.
Okay. Yeah, we checked it out, and it quickly went from 0 to 100 real quick.
I like that term.
I guess something to plan for in the future? Maybe another thing to ask Candlekeep about?
Yeah.
Why is there a stairway in our house that leads to this sort of thing? Maybe?
It may seem that you have quite a few adventures to do in here as well as out there.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yep. And there.
Besides that, we've only done one task for the person that gave us this house. So, Art, and then Candlekeep. That may be here. Or, something may happen.
Probably. Honestly, probably.
It usually does. It usually does.
They're gonna turn tail and walk back downstairs.
Oh,
I'm keeping an eye on Art, knowing that their dexterity is not great. So if they fall off, I'm gonna catch them. Just because that's habit by now.
yeah, it doesn't seem to be too much risk for Art on the staircases. Everything seems to be going nice and smooth.
You never know.
You just gotta be cautious here.
Yeah, eventually,
Yeah, I'll follow them back out.
as you make your way back down, the door is still open. And as you walk back in, Snow Moon and Lydia sort of step back and pull the rope away so you can step in easily.
We should probably put a fence or something here.
If we say
Close
it
the
again,
door.
If we say it again, will it come back down?
As you all say that and step back in, as the last of you walks in, you actually hear that same rumbling as the door starts to come down behind you.
We love an automatic door.
Unless you're in between the automatic door.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like an auto stop if there's something in the way.
Happened to me in a Petco door once. Got caught.
What's a Petco?
It's in Baldur's Gate. I'll take you to Petco.
Bloody hell.
I'm gonna get me the fish!
Where's my notepad?
Fantasy Petco.
Where all your dreams come true. Got a
Got a pet
hamster
for
too!
you.
The Blink Dog puppies. I used to play with them all the time. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So back to the kidnapped mother.
Yeah, be careful you don't give the DM too many ideas.
No.
Strange merchants
so
selling
back-
blink dogs in Baldur's Gate.
It's the hamsters.
Back to the carriage, everybody, for after our
The
short,
hamsters run
amusing
off here.
break.
Yes.
Load back.
Okay.
Anybody have to go to the bathroom while we're here?
Everyone go to the bathroom. Even try. Just try. Because you don't want to be like my Albert when we were stuck in bumper to
going.
bumper horse traffic.
Everyone goes to the bathroom and gets back in the carriage.
Horse
And has a snack.
Oh, and well, we can handle that in water.
So,
It's cold up there. Might want to get a coat in water.
Oh, we have coats.
Okay, I don't.
We're gonna have lots of time to figure that out.
Who can have a shopping experience to have a little bit of a filler episode, if you will.
so
I direct the carriage to go back to, continue on to Daggerford while they're having this conversation.
So you guys actually have about from where you are here, about 5.5 days worth of travel to get up to Daggerford in the carriage. So you will be coming in just sort of at the at sundown on that sort of end of that. I guess I'll say shipment pointed here day one. Yeah, so you're 5.5 left, so half of that 5. Yeah, so you guys will be getting there the morning of that day because you've got your half day travel left for today. Because it really only took you about 10 minutes to take that ritual run in and then head back out. So you were probably in your house no more than half an hour.
Does when a wizard copies a spell scroll into their spell book, does it destroy the spell scroll?
It does destroy the scroll, yeah.
Because I've got 3 more, Artemis. If you need something to do while traveling, but if they're not in your spell book, then other people can use them. There's Featherfall.
Art should have that one.
Yeah.
You hear from the top of the
there's-
carriage.
There's gentle repose, which you or Lydia would be able to use, but you would be able to use it permanently because you're amazing.
Gentle repose.
It essentially preserves a dead body, for use of, like, you know how like certain revitalizing magic is like they need to be dead for no longer than a day. Well, this spell kind of like halts decomposing so that you can do those spells over a long time.
So
It's a
let's say Lydia is on one end of a complex and you're on the other, and Murdoch goes down and fails her death saves. Lydia has a spell that can only be cast within 1 minute. It's going to take her longer than a minute to get there. If you have Gentle Repose prepared, you can cast it on the body and it adds 10 days onto the timer. So now Lydia can cast that 1 minute spell within the next 10 days at like 54 seconds or however long it took you to get over to it.
That also means if we needed to bring someone back, but if Lydia didn't have the supplies, that may give enough time to buy the supplies. So there's that. And then the last one can be used by you or Furia. It's Wall of Water.
Don't need it.
Which is different than your tidal wave. Because it makes a wall and then the wall stays up.
Oh.
So. And that one is Wall of Water's fourth?
I think it's
Third level.
I think.
Third?
Pretty sure it's
Yeah, I can currently cast it, so it's third.
So if you want to copy the other two, I can give them to you. I can actually also use Featherfall, so if you have it, I'll actually just hold on to that one in case of emergencies.
I mean, I don't have it right now. I could always learn it when I level up. But
I got these for you.
Furia leans over the set. Art, I don't want to always have to be pulling you away from the precipice. Take it!
okay.
Goes back up.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Just, I might always not be there.
I'll be careful. I'll try to be
Okay.
more careful. This will help. Okay.
Well, I've got them on a notepad, but that was a little bit of weird in character / out of character. It gives you something, because I don't really do things on. I don't have to do things over periods of time. I'm just amazing. So. So if you want to do that over travel, I figured I would tell you.
That's
that I
true.
have those.
So as you guys are making your way, we'll actually take our break here for this evening. It's a few minutes after 9:30, so we're just about our halfway point.
Oh, good time.
As you guys are currently traveling up towards Daggerford. The first, well, we'll call it the first leg of your trip, because you got a little further to go to get up to Waterdeep, but that's only about a day and a half after Daggerford, so.
We can check and see how they're doing.
With that, so we will be back in just a few moments, folks, so don't go anywhere, as we gotta find out what happens when our party gets to Waterdeep, and then ideally if they can manage to arrange travel on their way to Silvery Moon. So we will be back in just a few moments, folks. back, everyone. Our party is currently in a strange situation as their seemingly carefree stop to chase a flaming goblin has led to some deep, jarring emotional trauma for poor dear Artemis. And our party has now decided to amend their approach. And instead of heading to Candlekeep via Baldur's Gate, they are now heading back towards Daggerford to pass through Daggerford on their way to Waterdeep, hoping to find a way to utilize a Teleportation Circle to make their way to Silvery Moon. The first leg of your travel, that first 5.5 days, passes without really any issue. As post watch at night, everything goes rather smoothly. You find yourselves arriving in Daggerford at the tail end of your 5th full day of travel. You're at this point, you're at the city, so it's easy enough. If you guys want, you can get a room in an inn before heading out the next day, or if there's other things you want to do in Daggerford and on your way.
I would just get a room at the inn we stayed at before, and I don't have anything else I need to do there.
Okay.
I don't have any business, I don't think.
Can we see how they're doing?
See who's doing.
Just like the town in general, like since we were last here.
It's only been about 10 days since your last visit. Hasn't been that long. So as you're sort of riding through and just poking around, you see the marketplace does seem to be put back together after the random bear attack.
Okay, so that's this place. I keep getting this and
Oh, you were thinking of Succumber?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's a different direction.
Okay, I was
basically,
like,
if you hop on a barge and head east, you'll end up in Succumber again.
Yeah.
okay.
This is where the temple is that you broke into.
What are you talking about? You're weird.
Oh, do I need to get the list out? We've got it saved. It's in the Discord.
One second.
Somebody clipped it. So, eventually you guys
That's great.
make your way to the inn, settle down for the evening, and then next morning comes through, you wake up, you all have your breakfast and meet back up. No one's doing anything, you guys start heading back out again. You have another basically day and a half's travel to get to Waterdeep from Daggerford. As you start heading out, go ahead and anyone who wants to can go ahead and make a perception check. You guys are making your way along here.
17.
Okay.
Natural 20 for 21.
10.
18.
Passive is 16, but I rolled a 10.
So actually, only Artemis and Murdoch notice this. As you guys are heading out, you see a rather striking, looks to be a human male. As you guys are sort of heading out of town and starting to head north up towards Waterdeep, watching the carriage and the group of you travel by. He's wearing a deep, almost like a royal blue cloak. Not saying anything, you just Murdoch and Art, you notice the eyes seem to linger on the carriage a little longer than you would typically expect. Then again, you do have an elf who has strapped herself basically to the roof.
It's all in the thighs. You gotta hang on with the thighs.
Rather unsettling fellow, isn't he?
I mean, as long as he doesn't, I don't know, come after us or something. I mean, I think it'll probably be bad for him, not us. But you didn't recognize him, did you?
Oh, I didn't get a good look at his face.
Okay.
I just do wonder, how recognizable this carriage is.
Is it like fancy?
It's for Daggerford. This is fancy. But
Okay.
again, Daggerford is, for the most part, it's realistically it's a farming community. They've got some temples, they've got some inns, but it's not like Waterdeep where they have an entire quarter of noble people. It's not like places where you find weird rinky-dink little bar tavern things with hookah lounges in them.
Well, that's just downtown, the city that I live by.
Bars with hookah lounges. Yep.
Come on down to what?
There's weird people on the
Learn
corner.
about a certain bar with a hookah lounge on Wednesdays. Every week.
Join us. It is a hell of a time to watch them, trust me.
There goes
No,
the
we're
cricket
not
that
even
we
in
see
Waterdeep.
each morning.
We're in Baldur's Gate. No. Okay. As the carriage passes, does he just continue to watch as it go and then seems to go about their day, or do they watch until we can't see them anymore?
He seems to take a rather pronounced interest in the carriage, and as you and Art sort of are glancing out and noticing this, he seems to make eye contact with both of you. Doesn't shirk away, just sort of looking the carriage over, makes eye contact directly with you, Murdoch, and then around and sees Art looking and makes eye contact with Art. And just goes back to watching that same sort of direction, but again, get the feeling sort of.
Close the curtain.
Well, I'm going to be not sleeping.
Carriage rides do eventually put me to sleep, but I don't know how long it stays now. I hate men that just stare. Why do they do that? Don't they have other things to look at?
Well, you are a very handsome woman, so perhaps he was just gandering at you.
It's not for the male gaze. She kind of pulls her coat up a little bit tighter and crosses one leg over the other while she sits on the bench.
Harumph.
Only I get to ogle. They don't get to do it back. Okay.
So, as you guys are traveling away, you get probably about half a day's travel north of Daggerford. And you up in what you start to see in Fury. You would notice this first just being outside and up on the roof. But all of you would start to hear a voice calling out. Looks to be like there is a small, I guess I'll call it a roadside stand. It looks like it's a very sort of ramshackle half-hearted set up table. And as you start getting closer to you notice the table has a bunch of holes in it. A bunch of sticks stuck in the holes with different meats on the sticks. As you start getting a little bit closer, you can hear this individual calling out, "Oh, we got your rat, we got your frog, we got squirrels, we got chipmunks. We got all your little creatures. 5 copper each." Anyway,
I'll bang on the top of the carriage. Anybody want meat?
Did you say rats? And
I'll slow the horses down and I'm not
I-
stopping them, just slowing them down.
Okay.
I'm curious.
I thought it was a pet stand.
Lydia,
Well, those
I
do
rolled a
not look
d20
alive.
and Lydia is going to stick her arm out and get 2 meat on a stick. Do me a favor. I'm going to ask. We'll have each of you go ahead and roll a d4 for me. Each one of you. And then I am going to roll 2d4 to find out whose we're taking.
4.
Okay.
4.
3.
4.
Okay. So we got getting a 4 and a 4. So Lydia ends up getting given the guy 1 silver and ends up getting 2 things on his stick as they're handed in the window. Furia, given your proclivity for woodland creatures, you would recognize this is squirrel.
It's alright. Squirrel's fine. Just gotta cook it in a certain way.
Lydia's got her.
Is this cooked, by the way, or is this
Oh no, these
raw?
are no, these are cooked.
Okay.
Oh no, it's Jimmy the squirrel, my little druid friend. Oh no!
As I rip off the right into the chest, right? You know.
I go hard first.
Oh my gosh.
I call down to the man as we slowly pass by. Sir, you're in the middle of nowhere. What's your name? Like, maybe we'll see you when we come back this way.
As he looks up and gives you, go ahead and make a perception check as you're talking down to him, actually.
That's above 20.
So, as he looks up at you and says, "Oh, well, name's Taz," and gives you a wink, and as he opens the eye, like it closes for a second, as he opens it, you see the entire pupil looks to be like a liquid gold. Then as he looks down, and
Nice
starts-
to
puts
meet
the
you,
silver away,
Taz.
then looks back up, then it's normal again.
And I guess I'll speed up the carriages. We have a place to be.
Okay.
Something not to be shouted out upon the top of a carriage.
Oh, so you'll eat squirrel, but not my cooking. I see.
Did you make the squirrel?
No.
All right then. This is great squirrel.
I could cook squirrel if you want squirrel.
I'd like to see you catch a squirrel.
Okay.
Artemis, do you think I would cook good squirrel? Be honest.
I don't know what good squirrel or bad squirrel is, if I'm being honest.
Honestly, me neither.
Furia?
Yes?
What constitutes good squirrel?
Well, really good squirrel kind of tastes like chicken. but really like gamey chicken.
Like a pheasant.
Well,
I would
if
think
you're going
more
that
like
route,
a
then it's
duck.
poultry. Duck? Why? There's nothing coming at us.
Chicken.
Well, you're on the roof, so you're the one that should be. But no, have you ever had duck with some orange sauce? It's very good if you've.
I have actually had duck with orange sauce. I
Isn't
do
it
like-
wonderful?
I do like duck.
For my wedding, that's what we had for the guest in my Albert. He loved his duck. Not as in he loved a duck, but he loved duck as a food.
Some people keep them as pets.
I understand.
They're really
that.
good eggs. They're more valuable for eggs, in my opinion.
As you all watch as
Well,
Artemis very noticeably
We got
pulls out the
days
book.
worth of travel.
You know, geese are known to lay golden eggs. Have you ever heard that? It's true.
That is a children's tale. You need a golden goose to get a golden egg, not just any old goose.
You can't eat a golden egg.
You
But you
can
can
if it's
sell it.
chocolate in the center.
It's not really golden. You can exchange a golden egg for lots of food.
For goods and services, for example.
As the rest of your day's travel continues, as you continue to, as Lydia is snacking on her squirrel, as the rest of you are discussing food, eventually night falls, you all take watches. Seems to pass without an issue. You wake up the next morning and you realize that you will be at the gates of Waterdeep by midday.
Ooh, boy. Walk deep. It's always pretty big.
Is there anything you would be doing to prepare for your arrival at Waterdeep?
Do I, since I took several books from the house way back when, is there possibly some reading I can do about utilizing teleportation circle services? Is that something that is actually accessible to the public just with enough coin?
Go ahead and we'll say make a, I'll call this, make this an intelligence check, and where you have the code legal for these, I will give you advantage on this.
Okay.
Because again, you guys stopped at the house, so it's very simple. Knowing you were heading this direction afterwards, you could have grabbed that book.
'Tis just an 11, unfortunately, with advantage.
Okay. So in what you've read for the Waterdeep Code Legal, for the most part, you know, the majority of magic users, you have to register all the normal stuff that you're dealing with. You do know that there are locations that have a teleportation circle within the city. Typically, it is run by members of one of the factions. Typically, they will work with their own members very easily. If there's enough in it for them, or some benefit to them, they could be swayed.
What about the Blackstaff Academy?
You could certainly try.
I would sooner ask the Blackstaff Academy than the Centaur. Or the Zents, for that matter. Or the Xanthos, for that matter. Well, have you ever seen the Blackstaff Academy, Artemis?
No, my experience has mostly been through
books and falling into the sea back on the island.
Well, you are at least in for quite a treat. It is one of the most prominent academies of the arcane arts in all of the Sword Coast.
That's
People-
very intimidating.
You are already much above the level of just any odd beginner student at the academy. Just they study for quite some time, but they come from all around.
Now that we're on the topic of magic, am I supposed to have this, the other spell scrolls? Am I supposed to be copying them?
They are yours to do with as you wish. Whenever you have free time. Or just use them as they are in a pinch.
How long do we have till we get there?
So realistically, you can say, because you guys have had, basically, since you left the house, you've had about 7 days worth of travel at this point. So you can definitely say, if you want to, that you've already copied those in during your travels.
There was Featherfall and Gentle Repose.
Featherfall, Gentle Repose, and there was a third water wall, but I don't know where that, if that was going
Wall
anywhere.
of water.
Wall of water, yeah.
Anyway, here's Waterwall.
Today is gonna be a
Okay,
day that I get really wet.
What?
Gosh.
That I get really wet. It's water wall. Today it rained.
Okay, I'll have copied the two, but not Wall of Water just yet. I'll still hold
Okay.
that.
So eventually you guys start making your way towards the front entrance of the city. And as you can see, there is a couple of guard stations set up outside. As they're looking, and you can see at this point it's about midday, so you're seeing a decent number of travelers coming in. And it looks like they are basically checking people as they're coming in. So as you're go ahead, all of you, and start making make a perception check for me.
Natural
11.
20, which makes it a 26.
Okay.
19, which makes it a 20. I don't know why I said it like that.
11 altogether, because I add my bonus.
Ten.
Okay. So, for Murdoch and Furia, as you start getting closer to these points, and you're starting to see just all manner of people heading in, and the guards seem to be, giving them a once-over, checking for weapons, just seeing why they're coming in, what's going on, as they're arriving towards the city. You start to hear things. And give me a second, because I forgot the name here. I want to make sure I give it to you properly. As you're starting to pull up, and you're starting to hear these people talking as they're waiting in line, and you've got about 2 or 3 people in front of you as the guards are checking with people. Start to hear. Do you hear? It's a Doom. The Doom's actually dead. Someone did it. We don't have to worry about the Doom anymore. And then a couple minutes later, you start hearing a couple of people. Oh yeah, I hear, there's somebody's supposed to be writing an article down in Daggerford. Then, Dallas is going to do it up here, but it's going to be a couple days. Then you start hearing back and forth, and then Fury, you would be the only one to notice this as you're looking at these guards, and as they're going through and talking with people, as you're seeing a couple of the other one of the groups up front, they're having everyone get out of the carriage. All of these guards are wearing the same uniform, except one. One guard, and they seem to be sort of pacing themselves, and you notice them off in the distance a little ways in the back. Then you can see they're wearing a blue cloak.
The blue cloak is the standout one. All right.
Yeah, there's one that you see that's wearing a blue cloak.
And
Fortunately, the others don't notice him that far in the back. Actually, Murdoch, what was your roll? You said you were 19, right?
20. Yeah, so with my modifier.
With a 20, you would notice it as well then.
And the guy back in Daggerford also had a blue cloak.
Yes.
But
Yeah, the problem is I didn't see the guy in Daggerford.
Right.
Right.
So,
Since I saw,
but I'm
both,
like, that's weird that they're not all the same.
I don't know how much you listen to us talking inside the carriage, but do you remember that Aunt and I were talking about how there was a gentleman back in Daggerford that was staring very intently as we passed? Do you remember that? Did you hear us speak of that at all? Furia?
Me? Oh, yeah, I'm leaning over the edge of the carriage. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it when we stopped to rest.
He was a little unnerving, and I tried not to think too much of it, but maybe this is just me seeing. It's part of my job to try and see similarities and make connections. So tell me if I'm just being crazy, but I'm just noticing that they're talking about how someone was doing something back in Daggerford, and that man has almost the exact same kind of cloak. I know, it's stupid. Everyone wears cloaks. But I'm just so...
Maybe there's some sort of... I mean, he's right up there standing beside the guards, not moving. I mean,
Yes.
a little bit in the back, but he's not going anywhere.
But it's unnerving me in just the same way.
Or maybe they're cloak buddies.
Cloak friends. I don't know.
By
don't
a
know.
specific color of cloak, you can recognize each other anywhere.
I suppose. All this talk about Doom being killed. Does anyone know what a Doom is? Do you know what a
Well, I know what Doom is, but a person,
Maybe
no?
the feeling of doom.
Good.
Like,
All
really
you can
kill
make a history
that.
check if you want to.
Feeling Doom?
And an article was being written about it.
Who can? Anyone can?
Yep, anyone wants it. You guys are all having this conversation, so.
A
15?
Doom?
Okay.
You said history?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a 14.
Artemis, you making one or no?
I am thinking that they're panicking, trying to look their best and get all of their stuff in order. So probably not.
Okay. So, yeah, as you guys are sort of talking it over, you're not really 100% sure what this is, based on what you guys roll for your history checks, but with your passive insight and the way people are talking, it's, as you guys are trying to figure it out, it's also putting you at ease a little bit. It seems like everyday people are excited about this. So they don't sound afraid. It sounds like they're more celebrating this fact. So while you're not sure what it is, it sounds like it's a good thing that whatever this doom is dead.
We like when the common people are excited. Rise up.
And about this time, as you guys have been having this conversation, you guys pull up to the gate. And again, Fury, you notice as the guard sort of puts up and... Okay, let's go. Everybody out.
Do I have to get down? Or should I just stand up?
Come down. We need to check you.
Just hop down.
And as the group of you and a couple of guards come over and they start, just sort of poking around and asking general questions, how long you'd be for, or the basic run-of-the-mill questions. And each one of you has one of these guards come over to you. Snow Moon actually has two come over at first, because Snow Moon comes out, heavily armored, big-ass sword on the back. But eventually, as they're talking, one moves over, starts taking care of Murdoch, and through the group. Artemis, you are actually approached by the gentleman in the blue cloak. They come up and he says, yes, I'm just here. So, how long are you in Waterdeep for?
I think we're just kind of going through. Maybe like a day or something. Maybe. Yeah, probably like a day.
Okay, so, and any of you magic users?
Maybe.
Nature magic? Is that what you call it here?
Well, if you're only here for a day, you're fine. But if you plan on staying any longer, you must register. Now, this is and then leaning down a little closer to Art, this is a very lovely carriage you have here.
Thank you.
We heard this was given out by a friend of Oz and Daggerford.
They look at Murdoch. Then they look back.
I think so.
They said that if you made it this way, you might be able to help us. So, while your friends are being taken care of, let's take a little walk for a moment, shall we?
Okay. Sure.
And this gentleman starts to lead Artemis away from the group a little bit.
I'm gonna start following after.
There's a guard in front of you checking you right now. You're going to try to get away from the guard?
Yes.
Okay. And
Sarah.
Murdoch, what did you say you were doing?
Well, I was... Murdoch is actually doing the Sarah, no.
No.
No, but in the sense of no, you're doing what I kind of want to do.
Okay, so Sarah, as you go to start moving away from this individual to follow, they're going to try to stop you. So you can make either a strength check or an acrobatics check.
Let
try
me
to,
just
Not, or you could just not. There's that option too.
I'm gonna go with acrobatics, and I'm going to act senile. Oh, my seeing eye wizard!
Okay.
She's a slippery one.
10 altogether.
Okay, I think they're going to be... I don't think this guy has a minus, and I've got an 11 on the die. But let me just check here.
I went with acrobatics, by the way.
Yep.
I should have.
Let's see here.
I should have bardically inspired.
So as you start going senile on them, and he's starting around, he's manages to get himself in front of you, and again as he sees this, you watch a slight, the knee jerk is to reach out and just sort of grab, and then seeing that you look like you're having an episode of some kind, immediately the hands go a little gentler, and it's Okay, and he sort of hold on to you like, okay, you're no, yes, don't worry, you're okay. Your friends are over here, and he starts sort of gently, sort of leading you back over towards Murdoch and Fury a little bit. It was, I think this
that one has the magic, the magic to help me see.
that one's a little busy, so just stay with your friends. It'll be back in a moment.
Oh,
Is there-
yes.
I have. Don't worry. They get lost, I can find them again. I'll say it to my companions.
Is there a problem, Godsman? Why is our friend being led away? We're on quite a strict time schedule. Is it because they need to be registered? We're only going to be here a day.
I am not sure. Wait here. We'll go find out.
Thank
And
you.
the guard who was working with you, Murdoch, seeing that you seem to be, we won't say a de facto leader, but seem to have your head on and just, handling it the lawful way. And sort of heads over and walks over.
As I am wont to do.
And walks over and, Art, you can hear the two of them sort of mutter for a couple of moments, and then the one in the blue cloak about you are basically almost barked something at him, very sort of hushedly. The mercer's like, then took off walking back over your group. While that individual is heading back over, this individual leans down a little bit towards you and says, "No, listen, yeah, I came to speak with you because it was, let's just say I have a friend whose name rhymes with elfin. And
Okay.
I was told that you may be sympathetic to our cause. I'm a member of an organization. We are sort of information gatherers. The keepers of different bits of knowledge, and we have agents everywhere. Like we recently found out through one of our own that the blue dragon, the doom of the desert, has been slain.
Okay.
And as you can hear, people are excited about this. And
They sure are.
I've heard one of ours was involved. You didn't hear this from me, but his name is Crowan. But
Okay.
we are
It's
looking
just
for
having a week.
we are looking for individuals to help, and I would like to offer you membership. We have ways of moving vast distances rather quickly.
Okay.
And all we ask is, in your travels, if you want to hear anything of an errant spellcaster on a bit of a power trip, you let one of us know.
Okay.
Oh, well, this is wonderful. And he puts his down into his small pouch on stuff and pulls out and presents you with a small metal pin. It looks to be a symbol of a harp. You,
Take it and
What?
look at it.
why this? Keep it hidden. We don't like to advertise ourselves too much. But as I said, my friend said that the group you travel with could be trusted, and he recommended you to us.
Okay.
It may be because you have some bit of arcane skill, and are most, with the doom of the desert being dealt with. One of our most pressing issues is this magic user.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Just any information you can get to us here, you can find me. I'm typically at the Yawning Portal. Or we also have our, well, I suppose I'll call him the leader of my chapter, is based out of Silvery Moon. His name is Crowan.
Okay.
Thank you. Let us get us over to your friends before they start to think I am having you arrested for something. And please do be careful. Don't try not to use magic within the city. There's rather strict about it.
To be honest, I thought I was getting arrested, so this is a good outcome. But I will do. Well, I won't. I won't use magic in the city.
Yes, be careful with the nobles if this is your first time here.
Okay. Yes.
As he starts walking you back and actually turns around and goes back over to the table you guys are standing by, pulls out a little rolled scroll and, unrolls it to you, shows you it's... Basically, it's a shortened version of our legal codes. Just scan through it to make sure you don't do anything on here. As you can see, the penalties are rather severe. And hands it to
Take
you.
a good long read of that.
And forgive me, Trisha, I'm going to lose our glacier just a quick second and just throw that link in there for you. So now you have a link to a nice, easy document which has all the crimes and various punishments, how long you will be whipped and or put into... Oh yeah, they got some fun ones.
We've got...
Whipped.
The law is one... What I love about the law here, I don't love it here, is that you can do something to a commoner, and then if you do the same thing to a noble, it's a worse crime. I think that's stupid.
That's just how normal laws work. Badum-tish.
And then some... But be careful with the disturbing the peace one.
As you're all having this conversation and Art gets brought back over, and yes, assault, and this individual who you've been speaking with, Art, says, yes, assaulting a citizen will get you imprisoned up to a 10-day and you will owe 1,000 gold. If you do the same to a noble, you will have your head cut off immediately. So, listen to your very wise friend.
We don't assault people. I find the law fun to talk about in a casual sense.
And literally looks over and visibly rolls the eyes. One of them. It seems all is in order. Again, if you're going to be here longer than a day or two, make sure you register. As unregistered magic users are rather actively sought.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you for the conversation.
And with that, the president gives you a nod and guards let you back into your carriage and you guys make your way into the city.
Oh, thank goodness, my seeing eye wizard has been returned.
Yes, you saw me return. Anyways, into the carriage.
She doesn't know that.
Into the carriage we go.
I hop back on top.
Very
Guys, I guess an inn is a first place or a stables?
Yes. It may be possible to take a carriage through a circle, but it would be a little bit tough. You may have to take the reins manually. I don't know how specific we can get with directions.
I'm fine. I just need to know exactly. I mean, do you have an inn in mind? You've been here before, right?
What gate are we at? Are we at the?
Hold on,
southern
I'm grabbing my Waterdeep map.
Right. I'm old. I don't know. There's so many cities.
I'm old and senile. I'm a wizard.
Do you need a seeing eye wizard?
That's what you were saying. I thought you said senile wizard, and I'm like, wow. Ain't
No,
that
no,
weird?
my-
Eye wizard.
my
She was
seeing
trying to
eye
pretend she was
wizard.
blind. Yeah.
Not
So
even.
do we? Yeah. So because there's the South Gate and the River Gate. I don't know.
Okay,
which
so
one.
you are. Oh, this is tiny.
Would you like mine? It's the one we use for Waterdeep. It's got like.
Oh yeah, if you toss the Discord, I'll pull it up on my phone because the one I've got over here is everything is tiny.
This is the one that you can like. It literally has a dot that you can click on for every business in Waterdeep.
Oh, that. Yep. Okay, we are going to cheat. Sorry, roll. You're gonna. Sorry, roll 20. Sorry, Twitchland. You're gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna throw my pictures around. Holy mother, that is beautiful. Okay, so you guys are coming in from. You would be coming in from the southern gate, from where you guys came in. And Murdoch, you would know that the location you're talking about is in the castle ward.
Okay. For
Blackgate.
Castle Ward.
For Blackstaff Tower, I mean.
Yes. There is a stable right here by the gate. If you want to check it in, just take a right. The pink dot, right to the right of the gate entrance. Atal's stables, and then we could take a dray. Who's ever been on a dray before?
What's a dray?
It's like a double-decker carriage, but they're access to the public. It's like.
But
it's
isn't
like
it
double...
what we already have? I'm
It's
above
a little
you
bit
guys.
different. It's a little bit different. They have people that specifically can take you anywhere in the city, and there's it's like two carriages stacked on each other. It's like.
Wouldn't that be difficult for the horses?
They have very big horses, specifically to pull them.
Right. Yes, maybe
Like a
instead of
cart
trying to
thing.
navigate the city by our own carriage, we'll just park it and take this, whatever you call dray. So I'll pull into the stables or pull up to.
They're fantasy taxis.
If the DM says that there is stables there, in fact.
Oh yeah, no, there definitely are. Trust me, I got to disagree with a map that tells me where everything is. Oh,
This is me pulling on a different character's knowledge a little bit to help us not go too slowly here. But yeah, no, they're like the double-decker buses in London, but fantasy.
Yeah, easy enough is you guys get situated and pull up. Guy at the sales. Yeah, you can leave it here. How long are we putting them up for?
Maybe we should come back once we decide how quickly we can get our other transportation in order. So 1 night for now, but definitely longer later.
One night for now. We have to figure out how long we're going to be in the city, but 1 night for now is what she said.
Okay. I looks at everything. Okay, 1 night. Give me 5 silver.
Done. And I'll just give him. I just want to keep moving here.
He's like, you're not from here. I can get 5
Murdoch,
silver
I
out
once
of you."
tried to sell a bow without a bowstring to get a better price. I know how to haggle.
As you guys head out, takes a couple of minutes with Murdoch's help. You guys manage to find a dray. And are you planning on heading over to Blackstaff, or is there other things you guys want to take care of where you're in the city?
You can do anything in this city. Yes.
Almost anything.
can
Or
do
rather, they have consequences.
We have a very long list of laws we actually can't do.
I also mean that this city has skilled craftsmen has those that understand magic. Is there anything that anyone has wanted done? There's I think maybe apothecaries, most likely. I don't really go to those, but I'm sure we could ask around.
Well, I want to find an inn, and I want to ask Art what that blue person wanted. But I think that's better done in the privacy of not in the middle of the street.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to go look for a person that knows about. I don't actually know the word for it, like for like magical symbols,
Glyphs.
stuff like that. Glyphs.
Runes, glyphs, depending on exactly what you're referring to.
The thing, the
Oh, that thing.
The
Okay,
hand
now I follow you.
yeah.
The thing that's on the piece of leather.
Yeah, and my hand.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Your own leather.
The me leather.
The second leather armor you wear under your leather armor.
The red leather, yellow leather, you know.
Wow.
So
maybe the academy is good for that too. I mean, that's where all of the wizards are.
you could do something like that. Assuming you ask the dray driver for recommendations, you would get tossed out. The Font of Knowledge might be a spot. It's the largest library in Waterdeep.
To the library.
Furia's right though, an inn first. Then the library.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes, and then we can meet up back there if we decide to not all go to the library.
Yeah, maybe like we can just like have a little bit of like a powwow at the inn, so I can just like tell you guys what the heck just happened.
That too. Okay.
Okay, so let's see here.
How
Okay.
bougie do you want it?
Yeah, where
The
you?
last time we asked for recommendations, we got the person ghost, and that was an interesting experience. So, not that. I'm sure Lydia would object strongly to that experience again.
How
No
about
ghosts.
well, how about you give me this? You want rustic, moderate, or bougie? On that.
One of the first two.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, the birds work for the bourgeoisie. So.
Draymond, perhaps maybe an inn that has availability in the trade ward.
Trade ward? Okay, yeah, we can do something there. I was gonna say worm bones, but you know, trade ward. So
Worms do not sit well with us. Just putting that out there.
No.
Well,
okay,
they help
let's
with
see
flowers
here.
and gardens.
And I think, if I remember correctly, inns, taverns, and fest halls are all red dots.
Yep.
I love this map. We use it all the dang time.
Oh yeah, this thing is incredible.
I wish I had it for every city.
I was about to ask if they had it for the other cities.
Yeah, let's see here.
They may have something similar for Baldur's Gate.
Tavern.
Waterdeep
Okay.
has a lot of
So
documentation
the
on it.
Draymond gives a little nod, and eventually you find yourself heading down this one of the main streets down the trade ward, the Way of the Dragon, and they pull you up in front of an inn called the Grey Serpent.
I'm sensing a theme.
What's the theme?
Serpentry. Reptilian?
long things without any legs or arms.
Dragons can have arms. Look at Snow Moon.
I don't want.
No, I mean
arms.
worms
No.
and serpents.
Quite
Are worms just serpents?
Are you saying worm with a Y or with an O?
I was referring to the O kind.
Yes, the O kind.
All right. I'll pay the the drayman.
Takes a coin. Well, have a nice day then, and takes off, heading on his way.
You know what? Because Murdoch literally doesn't own anything but gold, and Dre is like a copper per person, so he's gonna have a great day. He's just gonna have a whole gold.
That's why he took off right away.
Yeah. It's good to have copper pieces when you're in Waterdeep. I've never stayed here before, so
But it does make
my
people
knowledge
happy.
ends.
So you don't know.
I'll head on in. Well, before we go in, are we looking to share, or everybody's getting their own, just to make it simpler when we get to the desk or whatever's inside?
If there's enough vacancy, I don't know if we'll get 6 rooms in the heart of the city, but I would like my own if possible, but I'm also okay with sharing.
At the very
Maybe double
least,
up.
Snow Moon would have to have his own room.
Oh, yes.
So 2 at the least will pile in, and 6 at the most. Lydia might want her own double room just in case, but we'll see what's there.
Feelings.
Oh, Snow.
I'll open
You're
the
so
door
lucky.
and go in.
You get your own room everywhere we go just because we want our privacy. You lucky man.
So you guys make your way in. And
Artemis, you can have your purpose.
It's a very sort of it's basically exactly what Murdoch and you discussed. It is very middle of the road. As you come in, it's not overly busy right now. As you're looking, this is literally just an inn. So there is a very small sitting area, but it looks like most people are doing their eating and carousing elsewhere. It's a very sort of slightish build. Looks to be a elven woman behind the counter. Looks over at the group of you. Oh, yes. Hello, welcome to the Serpent. How can I help?
Do you have rooms available, and how many? At least, do you have 6, 7, 6?
No,
I can't count all of a sudden.
No, I'm sorry to say I don't quite have that many available. I have 4 available that I could give to get for you, but
I look at the group. Will that do?
I mean, some of us are small.
I'll sleep on the floor. That's fine.
We could do 3 rooms, and either Lydia and Snow Moon could get their own, and then we all together or pair off if Snow Moon doesn't. Then one room.
each room does have 2 beds in it, so
Oh,
yes, if there were
Well, then if we get
6 of you, you could do 3.
one for Lydia, 1 for Snow Moon, and then 2 for the rest of us. What if you get all 4?
We could get all 4. That works.
And
Lydia here, you could see, is tall and doesn't usually fit most accommodations.
No, she's not going to be the most comfortable, but.
Snow Moon is a bachelor.
And how long will you be staying?
Just for one night.
Oh, just one night? Okay, that's 4 gold pieces.
One night. All right. I'll give out 4.
Okay. Takes the coins, directs you down a little ways up the flight of stairs to where the rooms are located. Enjoy the day or evening or whatever plans you have. And she goes back to her whatever she was doing before you guys came in.
All right, now we just have to decide who's sharing.
Well, this can be solved quite easily. Sarah, how late do you stay up?
Oh, not late at all. Usually by about the third hour past dusk, maybe a bit, maybe an hour or so after.
Perfect. We can pair off. Early to bed, early
I'm
to
up most
rise.
of the night. Well, I can be. All right, Art, I'm with you.
Sounds good. My sleep schedule's a mess.
So is mine.
Good, great.
You know, Artemis, going to bed early could also help with your anxiety.
Or you could stay with me and we could surround each other with candles and just not sleep.
That is also good.
And you
Can
say
we all,
I'm a bad
like,
influence.
Go
have
talk.
like a... Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
I'm going up
First
the
room
stairs.
that we come across that's ours, I guess.
Easy enough to
Yeah.
do. As you walk in, rooms are very sort of bare bones. As you walk in, there's one small end table against the far wall, bed on either side. Has a very sort of like naked college dorm room feel to it, where it's just two beds on opposite sides of the room. Single window above the small end table in between.
Just as long as like we're all in the room and
Yeah, eventually the
someone
six of you pile
shuts
in.
the door.
Door gets closed.
So that you know what? You guys are trustworthy enough, I guess. Now just like fumble out that like the little like pin, the little harp pin. They're like this. I'm very happy that they didn't want to arrest me, but they're working with Delphin. So,
Isn't that the same sort of symbol we found on that man's cloak in the gnome's house? You know.
maybe player has bad memory.
You would remember, yes, it is the pin that was on that gray cloak matches this one exactly.
You're in the club.
Congratulations. Is it a good thing?
I don't know.
I'm assuming it is, as you accepted, but
I was scared what would happen if I did not, but here we go.
That's how they get you.
They're looking to investigate a wizard who's on a bit of a power trip, as the person said. And they have like people all around looking for the wizard, and you know what? It wasn't exactly the best decision I think that I made, but
well, what are the benefits of joining this group?
We have dental.
401k,
Free
3 days
candles?
off a year.
Do you at least get a discount?
some like just ways to move around very quickly.
Oh,
Ooh, that could help. That's
Okay.
exactly what we need.
that is exactly what we need. If they mean instantaneous when they say quickly.
I'm guessing so.
But is it just
Faster than
you,
horse and
or-
carriage.
Hmm.
2 people spoke.
I asked if it's just you that's allowed to move.
I mean, they didn't seem outwardly hostile to you, so I'm sure they can be convinced that you're helping me. I mean, you are quite a lot. Thank you. But
It's something you could investigate. I ask.
Do we have to all hold the pin?
I don't know. I should ask. I should ask more questions. They are apparently hanging out somewhere in the city. The yawning
Also,
portal or something.
From what I think, I'm not sure who recalled the information, but before they're a secret society, right? That's why they took you all away hush hush and didn't just offer you in public?
Yeah, they're a secret society, and now I just told a bunch of people about it.
So I guess that means we can't tell anybody that you're part of it.
No, please.
Side eye at Sarah.
I do not say secrets.
Duly noted. And then he was also talking about the doom thing. There's a blue dragon, the doom of the desert. I don't know what that is. Does anybody know what that is?
If
Well, the
they are a
dragon, that's
dragon.
blue.
I mean, no wonder people are excited if a dragon is dead.
If it's pretty self-explanatory, yeah, that does. That
Sorry,
makes sense.
Solomon, but
I mean, he's not a. Well,
He's a dragonborn, not a dragon. But maybe this dragon was really bad, as people are so happy about it.
People going out here killing super powerful dragons, I could never. Who does that? And says that that's like
weird.
a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Couldn't be.
yeah.
Fun, maybe not, but necessary, maybe.
There was only the white one we killed, and the baby.
Oh yeah. Forgot
It's
about
in the notes, or it should
Yes,
be.
yes. You did. You did a lot of things. I do
Please?
paperwork. I do paperwork and you kill dragons.
Well, small ones. I don't
Small
think they were
ones.
full-sized compared to the one we saw frozen in the ice there.
Yeah.
You know, a small lion could still chew your toe off. A small dragon could still kill a man.
Or burn a village.
Or freeze a village.
But
That also happened, yes.
is that all? Is that all they said to you, though, Artemis? Just information for did you do a secret handshake? Get a password? Know how you access the benefits of fast travel? Or was that all just sort of not talking?
They just told me to keep my eyes out and for this weird wizard. They told me that I could find them at the yawning portal, and then there was the person who was involved with the blue dragon thingy, and the name was Crowin. Yep. And everything else I said. Also, I should put this pin on and hide it. And so they'll do that.
Well, don't put the pin on. Put
Well, maybe then making contact with these people is the best way to get access to a teleportation circle so that we can get to Silvery. Even if it takes us a few days, the teleportation would make up for trying to get there on foot.
We'll have to register Artemis then.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And me, and Lydia, and Murdoch.
How long is the grace period? Is it anything longer than a day?
I want to say it was is it
A 10
4 or
day?
5? I think it's a 10-day. I think it's a week.
We have some time.
And I apologize, Artemis, you would have been told. I flipped the city names. I just pulled my map and my notes back up. The gentleman in the blue cloak told you that you could reach out to his leader, the person, the head of his chapter named Crowan, who is in
Okay.
Everland, not Silvery Moon.
Oh.
Everland is
Okay.
just south of Silvery Moon.
Okay.
So it would still cut, easily cut your travel time down, as it's probably only about a day, maybe 2 days walk from Everland to Silvery Moon.
Whereas we'd be going for like probably a couple weeks.
Oh yeah,
If we tried to get
it's-
there for beach,
Several
so-
10 days.
Yeah. So we have some time here to see if we can just get in contact with someone about utilizing a teleportation circle. I know that they're here because my employer always used to travel by them. He never took a cart anywhere or carriage or anything if he could help it.
And we can fast track the process instead of trying to get through whoever owns them, magicians or fancy people, then using what Art's just gotten here.
Yes,
Help-
because
Help Art. Art will help Art get closer to our goal.
because my only other guesses were the academy, which none of us are a student, and so that would require some probably either sweet talking or a job, or maybe just no access at all, or
Or
having to
becoming
deal
a
with
student.
or becoming a student, but then we wouldn't be able to leave.
Right, and it would take probably a long time to do anything to get access to anything.
And the other
I mean, you
alternative,
can always leave a school ground. You can...
the other alternative was unsavory groups within the city. And by my oath as a lawyer, I don't want to associate with them. We don't take. Do we swear oaths? Do lawyers swear oaths? Yes.
Yeah, they
Right?
do.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
American lawyers swear oaths. I don't know about D&D lawyers.
By my oath that I swore to uphold the law, I would not want to deal with such unsavory individuals. So, Artemis,
Well, with that,
I think you're our best bet for helping us help you, as Furia said.
what time of day is it?
Stressful.
At
How
this
much
point,
time do
it's-
we have to do stuff?
You've got about a half day. Maybe a little less than a half day, because you guys got here midday. You parked the carriage, got to the room, you've been having this conversation. You probably got maybe an hour or two less than a half day.
We can always get started on the teleportation problem right away. I mean, we got some time left.
We could. I know you wanted to go see if you could find information in the library, Sarah. And perhaps Artemis and I could sit down and start pouring through the rest of the passages of the book.
That would also be helpful.
I would like to read a little bit and maybe outside of
half.
the comprehend languages. You know what? Yes, that would be good too.
A little bit of rest.
One that's
But-
not bumpy with a road.
When do I have to register myself? When do we have to register? I don't want to get my head cut off.
If we stay in the city for longer than a 10-day, they would request that all magic users register. And registering, honestly, I feel like Murdoch would be registered, just as if I
Given
got
that you've
done.
probably been here before,
Yeah,
and given your employer's
yeah.
attitude, yeah, you're probably already registered at this point.
I'm actually already registered with the city. It's essentially just if there was a threat to the city, even just something as, say, like a fire or something, that the city can call upon the magic users to help protect the citizens and, honestly, more so the property. But It's just a means of using what they have available to keep everything in line. It's a big city. They can't just all do it with the watch. So
Okay.
registering isn't. They're not going to track you down or anything like that, unless the city was threatened and someone called on you to act. Very
So,
unlikely.
how long do we have before we got to go? I missed that part.
A 10
A week? Tomorrow? Oh,
10
alright.
10
So we have
days.
some time to make plans.
And then you'd have to register, yes.
So with that light art, what would you like to do? Right now. For the rest of the day. Afternoon.
Right now, sort of look through that book.
Alright. The ring book? I believe I have that one.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, I'll dig it out of my bags or whatever I have it and I'll hand it over.
Okay. And Sarah, you said you wanted to go to the library?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
I'd go with Sarah,
I was
just
gonna
to
say,
get
I
out of
think-
Art's hair.
I was gonna say I'd figure
Oh, no.
someone might do it, but okay. If
Oh,
Fear's
yes.
going with Sarah, as Art is setting up their. I'm assuming you're doing it as a ritual again.
Mhm.
Oh, and we got Snowmoon right at the very tail end.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, thank you. Agree with me. Our cameras are going to be a little wonky.
actually, did my camera just die from me turning that on?
I think.
Nope.
it is.
You dropped down into Furious spot.
Ah,
And your
okay.
camera is frozen.
I am
as
frozen.
far as I can
you're
see.
okay.
I mean,
Oh.
Live. There we go.
So, where it is so close to the end, I'm not going to offload no, because I was actually just about to say we'll call an end to tonight's session there.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Snowmoon caught us at the very last second, unfortunately. But actually, this is a good thing. So,
Sorry.
so Maddie,
No, it's-
I know you were.
We're in water
stuck at
deep.
work.
Surprise. Not Baldur's
The group's in
Okay.
Waterdeep. They went back the other
Okay.
direction. They're further north now as things have happened. We'll fill you in if you hang for a couple seconds after stream. But
Yeah, sure.
basically what the party has done now is you guys are rooms at the inn. Art and Murdoch. Art's been having a bit of a rough couple of days. They're going through a book casting with some comprehend languages so they can learn stuff. Sarah wants to go to the library and Furious tagging along. What
Okay.
would Snowmoon be doing? Would there be something in Waterdeep that Snowmoon would want to take care of, or
Murdoch talked about how
Uh.
this is like a city where you can get like pretty much anything, that there's skilled craftsmen, skilled smiths. If you want to like update any of your gear, this would probably be the place for it.
No, there's not really any gear he's looking for, and he doesn't really have any connections in Waterdeep, so I guess he would probably just tag along with one of the groups. But
oh, okay. So we've got well, what we're doing where Art and Murdoch are just dealing with the book stuff. We'll have you tag along with Furia and Sarah then out into the city for next time. So
Okay.
folks, we will be back next Monday to see how Artemis does with this strange new situation and the journey to get to Silverymoon to find out what is going on with their mother. And is it really due to these people that... Who knows if Artemis has ever actually even met them? Could... Oh, it's been a long time if it has been. So with that being said, folks, don't forget, when a strange gnome calls you by your name and you start having flashbacks of your childhood, your dungeon master may be trying to emotionally traumatize you. When making that saving throw, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. We'll see you next time, folks.